See a bard in the corner. Good evening, students. This is a different piece of work to the standard viewing of Bardic Whispers, but I am Ethard Freyodoni, and I'm here to talk to you about the different schools of wizardry. A wizard is 112 on this here textbook. There are several different schools of wizardry. A wizard is different from a sorcerer, and different from some of the other classes that you may encounter during your adventuring. We focus on the lore of knowledge, and we may not even have inherently magical abilities, but we follow magic and the arcane through research, reading, understanding, and arcane traditions. The scholars of arcane, we are often called. And would you look at that? That feather is similar to my feather. Plucked from a blue phoenix. Okay. What we have is the arcane traditions. The arcane traditions are the school of abjuration, the school of conjuration, the school of divination, the school of enchantment, the school of evocation, the school of illusion, the school of necromancy, as well as school of transmutation, and that is about it. Now, these are the schools that we teach at this university, but there are a few other, like chronomancy, the study of arcane time, and fighting and battle, which is something we don't necessarily condone all the time, but when it is needed, we use it, and then where you become a war wizard, the school of war wizarding. But you can always suffice using conjuration or something similar if you were in a battle. So let me run you through these schools, my little first year students, my apprentices. We have the school of abjuration. School of abjuration emphasizes magical that blocks, banishes, or protects. Detractors of this school say that its tradition is about denial, negation rather than positive assertion. You understand, however, that ending harmful effects, protecting the weak, and banishing evil influences is anything but a philosophical void. Called abjurers, members of this school are sought when baleful spirits require exorcism. As a high school wizard, you will have a discounted at our school, you will have discounted spells for any abjuration spell that you may need for your books. In fact, it is 50% off. Merely show your abjuration wand and you can receive that benefit. At early levels, you are able to become and use Arcane Ward and Projected Ward at a further level in the process. At higher levels, you have spell resistance, and you're taking half damage for any of those spells. School of Conjuration. As a conjurer, your favourite spells that produce objects and creatures out of thin air. You can conjure billowing clouds of killing fog, or summon creatures from elsewhere to fight on your behalf. As your mastery grows, you learn spells of transportation that can teleport yourself across vast distances, even to other planes of existence in an instant. Minor conjuration. Starting at second level, you will use this select on this school. You can use your action to conjure an inanimate object in your hand or in the ground occupied space within 10 feet of you. This object can be no larger than 3 feet and weigh no more than 10 pounds, but this force of the non-magical energy has been seen. The object appears after 1 hour. Benign transposition. You can teleport 30 feet, essentially inherit the blink feature, but without transporting to another plane, if you get my meaning. School of Divination. The Council of a Diviner is sought by royalty and commoners alike, for all seek a clear understanding of the past, present and future. As a diviner, you strive to part veils of space, time, and consciousness, so that you can see clearly your work to master spells of discernment, remote viewing, supernatural knowledge, and foresight. You will be a savant in divination, and you will also receive 50% off any divination spell scroll that you would like to add to your book. I think one of the most notable pieces of information for a diviner is the starting at second level. You can have glimpses into the future, allowing you to store portent rolls. Portent rolls allow you to roll at the start of each day 2 d20s, and you can swap them as you need throughout the day, providing a larger number to a ally or besetting an enemy with a failed roll potentially. It is extremely powerful. Next we have the School of Enchantment. As a member of the School of Enchantment, you have earned your ability to magically entrance and beguile other people and monsters. Some enchanters are peacemakers who bewitch the violent and lay down their arms, and charms the cruel into showing mercy. Others are tyrants, who magically bind the unwilling into their service. Obviously here, we are neither for or against either way you want to use enchantment. We merely teach. What you do with it is under your stipulation. Hypnotic gaze. Starting at second level, you can choose this school. Your soft words and enchanting gaze can magically enthrall another creature as an action. On subsequent turns, the action retains this effect. You also receive 50% of enchantment savant spells. School of Evocation. You focus your study on magic that creates powerful elemental effects, such as bitter cold, searing flame, rolling thunder, crackling lightning, burning acid. Some evokers find employment in military forces, serving as artillery to blast enemies and armies afar. Others use this spectacular power to protect the weak, again as bandits, adventurers, and aspiring tyrants. Make sure you venture to our bookstore to receive 50% off Evocation spells if you choose this school. The School of Illusion. You focus your studies on magic that dazzles, senses, befuddles, and the mind. The tricks even the wisest folk, your magic is subtle, but the illusions crafted by your keen mind can make impossible seem real. Some illusionists, include some known wizards, are benign tricksters who use their spells to entertain others, are more sinister masters of deception, using their illusions to frighten, fool others for their personal gain. Again, choosing this school will receive 50% off any spell scrolls you would want to put into your wizardry book. Now, to speak about one of the most controversial schools in our facilities, in our university, we have the School of Necromancy. The School of Necromancy explores the cosmic forces of life, death, and undeath. As you focus your studies on this tradition, you learn to manipulate the energy that animates all living things. As you progress, you learn to sap the life force from creatures as your magic destroys its body. Most people and necromancers are menacing or even villainous due to the close association with death. Not all necromancers are evil, but the forces they manipulate are considered taboo in many societies. Again, this university is neutral, and what you do with this school and this education is up to you. We are not responsible for anything you may have done. The Grim Harvest, your ability to reap life. Creatures that kill your spells. Once per turn, you can kill a creature with your spell at first level or higher. You regain hit points equal to the spell's level. School of Transmutation. You are a student of spells that modify energy and matter to you. The world is not a fixed thing, but eminently immutable, and you delight in being agent of change. You wield the raw stuff of creation and learn to alter both physical forms and mental qualities. Your magic gives you tools to become a smith of reality forge. Some transmuters are tinkerers and pranksters, turning people into toads and transforming copper into silver for the fun of occasional profit. Others pursue their magical studies with deadly seriousness, seeking power of the gods and they destroy worlds. Be sure to get your 50% off scroll rolls. Transmuter stones, shape-changing and master transmuter. These are all of the schools in the base curriculum that we provide. Now let me talk about you, my little thralls. Wizarding apprentices. If you would all turn to your multiverse textbooks, and if you would go follow me to page 259 to learn about yourself a little bit. Are you all there? Very good. Wizards. Wizards pursue magical power through the study of arcane texts, as we've revisited previously. The apprentice wizard. Apprentices are novice arcane spellcasters who serve more experienced wizards like myself. or attend school. They perform menial work with cooking or cleaning in exchange for an education in the ways of magic. As we all know, there is no fees at this school, but you are needed to provide upkeep to maintain this school. As I've described, you have the different abjurer wizards, conjurer, diviner, enchanter, evoker, illusionist, necromancer, and transmuter. And despite this diagram looking like a young Skywalker, many of you I see in this school look very similar, young, boyish, girlish, with small robes, and one day you will be as formidable as some of these teachers that we have at this university. But let me not distract you from this at this current stage. Let me tell you about you. You have an armor class of 10, 13 if you use mage armor, which we will be teaching next week as first order of business of protection. You are not strong, dexterous, or robust, but you are intelligent. You have currently, I assume, most of the abilities to Arcane Burst, which is a ranged attack, or melee. It's +4 to hit, reach 5 feet, or 120 feet. And it does 1d10 plus 2 of force damage, as we know. Spellcasting. You should all know Mage Hand, Prestidigitation, Burning Hands, Disguise Self, and of course, we will learn Mage Armor next week. And your spell saves at this level are DC 12. You should have your wands, you should have your books, and you should be starting to think about creating your own spellbook, or at least have a few scratchings, musings. Here is mine. I don't subscribe to any particular school, because Ethard does what Ethard do. But let us go to the Wizarding book and explore what we expect from you in regards to this Wizarding book. Your spellbook. The spells that you add to your spellbook as you gain levels reflect the arcane research you conduct on your own, as well as the intellectual breakthroughs you have had in the nature of the multiverse. You might find spells during your adventures. You could discover a spell recorded on a scroll in an evil wizard's chest, or a dusty tome in an ancient library. Copying a spell into the book. When you find a wizarding spell at the first level or higher, you can add it to your spellbook if it is of a spell level you can prepare. Copying the spellbook into your spellbook involves reproducing the basic form of the spell. For each spell level, the process will take 2 hours, costing 50 gold pieces, but if you go use that discount, it will be better. The cost represents material components. And of course, if you're getting it from our book, we have discounted because we buy in bulk for all of you. Replacing the book, you can copy a spell from your own spellbook into another book, for example. Making a backup copy of your spellbook, this is like the copying the first spell. You can only spend 1 hour and 10 gold pieces to create a backup for each spell. The book's appearance. Your spellbook is unique. A compilation of spells within your own decoration and flourishes. Margin notes. You might be playing a functional leather volume, or about a gilded-edged tome you found in an ancient library. You can even choose collections of notes inscribed together as your previous spellbook in a mishap. So I see, going through these different schools and you deciding on what you want to do has put many of these students to sleep. So I think at this stage, class is adjourned. I look forward to our next class where we will learn mage armor. No homework for tonight. Thank you, my young wizarding friends. Good night.